Well, in today's video, we need to address a problem that has been getting progressively worse.
I think we just found our next project. There's a catch basin drain right there at the edge of that concrete. It's obviously not draining, so we need to dig it up and see if we can get it draining.
We got to do some exploratory digging, do some diagnosing, and see if we can get to the bottom of the problem, because we want to pour some new concrete and this has got to get fixed first. So let's dive into it.
Dig Drive DIY!
So 2 years ago, we started to notice water backing up in this catch basin, and we thought we might have to address it back then. We've been getting along okay with it the way it is, but they need to get it fixed. Greg got started on this. This is where I work, by the way. So my boss, Greg, got started on this over the weekend when I wasn't here. He dug up the tile and found where it was located. He cut a hole in the tile. So Luke's here with me, and we're gonna see if we can run my snake in there. This is one of the snakes I have. It's actually like a giant fish tape. It's got these little roller wheels on the end, and the rollers can go down the pipe, roll down the inside of the pipe, and they can really reveal an obstruction. What we'll do is we'll kind of unroll it, and then we'll get it inside the pipe at an angle. We'll want to turn it so that it lays on its side. The fish tape is on its side, and we'll see if we can get it down in there. Hold on a second, I'm getting a phone call. All right, we had a slight interruption. I got a call for an off-road recovery gig and had to go pull a little sprayer that was stuck on the side of a sand hill. But we got him out, got that patched up, and now we're back to this thing. We're gonna see if we can run this snake in the pipe and figure out where it's plugged up. There you go. We'll just lay it on top of the ground and see where it goes. That's clear as a whistle. There's nothing even on the snake. Let's walk it down there. Conservatively, that goes to the other end of the building. This whole section is good up to the end of the building. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out in the field and see if we can find this line, dig it up and expose it just like this. We'll be able to snake in both directions to see if we find an issue. If we dig that up out there and it has water in it, we know that the problem's probably farther down the line. All right, let's see if we have any luck probing anything. So I've dug what I hope is perpendicular to this tile. So we didn't find it in that first stretch of trench, so I'm gonna go this way a little bit, and if I don't hit it in this stretch, then I'll dig on the other side and kind of be systematic about our approach here. Here's the thing, if you'd have told me to go out in that field and try not to hit a tile, I would have hit one within about 5 minutes of starting to dig a hole. Now that I'm out here trying to locate a tile, it's elusive. Here it is. Okay, so here's the culprit we're looking for, and that is a clay tile. And right there I can see a joint in between, and I can actually see a crack down in there. And there's no water, which tells me that it's draining, going towards the outlet, and probably plugged somewhere closer to where our original catch basin hole is. There's our hole way back there. So our tile's coming across this grass, right through here. And if I run water into the drain up there, the water immediately pours out like it's not taking it. So I think that it's plugged. More than likely it's probably plugged in the driveway. We added to the driveway, and probably when we cut down, we were close enough that the dump truck smashed it. That's my guess. So now I'm gonna set up and dig this way with it so I can pull out a couple tile pieces, and then we'll snake it going that direction. I'm telling you, you wanna go easy when you get down here. And I'm not close to the tile yet, but I know that my shovel is close to the tile. I just want to get down far enough that I can get it opened up and get that snake in there. And we're going to snake towards our catch basin, and I'm guessing we're going to encounter something. Boy, this is some super heavy clay right here. This is great pond material. I'm only about 3 feet deep, and it's heavy clay. I'm trying to get the teeth to where they're straddling the tile as well, so that I'm kind of digging not on the highest portion of the tile, kind of digging a little bit on the sides, so if I do scratch it, maybe it won't bust it out of there. It just takes a lot of patience. Patience is hard when you're in a hurry and you're trying to get something fixed. So if you look real close, you can see the tannish colored dirt along the sides, the clay, and then the more dark organic dirt right over the top of the tile. It's telling me I'm digging right on top of it and I'm getting close. I think I'm going to take one more pass and then I'll call it good. Famous last words. One more swipe. There we go. I'm right on top of it. All right, I'm gonna quit with the mini and dig by hand so I don't damage it. I just peeled the dirt off of it right there. The good news is there's no water here, which is a really good sign. I got her opened up, took one tile out. I'm gonna see if I can get that snake and we'll see if there's a plug between here and there. Ooh. Nope. Well, I got the snake all the way in there, which means I got the two snakes together. All right, so the next easy thing I could do to try to diagnose, and we're getting a little bit better water flow right now, but I could try to stick a garden hose in it down here at this end, flush it with some water, and see how long it takes to get there. If it flows through this section easily, then that would suggest that the plug is still that direction. So let's see what a little water does. All right, I shut the water off and now that pipe's taking water. Let's go see what we got out here. Well, we don't have any dirty water yet. I'm gonna spin that tape around a few times and see what that does. There's no reason for me to believe that it's plugged between here and there. Because if I can get the snake through there, the water ought to run through there, no problem. Well, I don't have any answers yet. I guess it's not surprising. All right, so I have snaked in both directions and the lap of the snake has overlapped itself by quite a bit. So maybe we're gonna dig over there at the next tile. I just put this piece back in and we're gonna wrap it in plastic and cover it up. I've got that piece of clay tile put back in there. It just dropped right back in where I took it out. Wrapped it with a plastic bag and then tamped down some clay on top, and that's a good enough repair for a clay tile. I'm gonna backfill this right now and then I'll talk about my next thoughts. There's the tile we dug up and there's the next one, right where that red flag is. And I might dig that up just to see if I got water there or not. And if we don't have water there, then I'm all out of ideas and we're gonna switch to plan B. So we put water in, it doesn't come out. We're gonna try another tile on a different day. So you see I filled that up full of water. And if the snake that I was trying to stick in there at the other end, that snake was going in there well past that little sidewalk area. So there's no way that that tile is connected to this hole. So since this is angled, this is running on an angle, this tile was put in before that new addition with the porch was put on. So there's a chance that the tile runs right through there out to that other tile that we marked with a flag. So that's where I'm going to dig next. But we're out of time for today, so we'll come back and do it next. All right, we're back again now. We're digging on our second day here. Actually, we had a rain day in between, so it's been 2 days since we dug up and recovered the last tile we found. I'm here, moved to the new location where I found a second tile, took the mini excavator, dug down to about 6 inches above the clay tile, finished digging it up with a shovel, and I just pulled out one section of tile and it has revealed that the tile is open and flowing, so we know that the restriction is somewhere closer to the building now. More than likely there's a chance that it's plugged up underneath the new building because that new addition to this office was built after that tile was installed. So now we're going to run the fish tape up in there, see if we can find anything. If it's up underneath the building, if the problem's up underneath the building, we're pretty much hosed. and we'll probably install a new drain. Oh, well, something. All right, for those of you playing along, here's what we found out so far. The catch basin's plugged, and the tile that we thought was draining it was not in fact the tile that's connected to it. We think that a tile 50 foot just north of that original tile was likely the original drain for both the catch basin and the floor drains in the building. And then when they added on this addition, the office, to the original pole barn, they probably damaged or hit the original tile when they trenched the footer. And then they use this tile to connect the drains inside the office. So this tile is still working, but it probably is no longer connected to the stuff that's up underneath the new office. So they didn't know it at the time that it was draining that catch basin out front. Now we know. The only solution now is to put in a new drain tile that will drain the catch basin and have a dedicated line just for that. We're going to tap into one of the newer tiles that are out here in the field. So we've got that other clay tile that I dug up earlier, and then there's a new plastic tile just 25 foot beyond that. So I'm going to go down there, find that plastic tile, and then we're going to get some material and try to put in a new line through the driveway all the way to this. We've got our afternoon cut out for us. All right, so I put the clay, the heavier clay, on this side of the trench so that I could put it in first. Get all that in there at the bottom. And then I saved the top dirt on the other side of the trench, and I'll put that on top so that we hopefully get it back to a farmable state and we don't have a bunch of subsoil on top of the ground. You really want to get rid of some of those big clay chunks. I like getting them in the hole. So I need to go home and get the laser, and then we'll come back and try to put in a new tile. All right, so we've located the tile right here. There's a plastic field tile. We're going to probably clear some stones off the driveway in the path that we're going to dig. Now we're going to dig down to the plastic field tile so we can find elevation and then know what we're shooting for when we head up towards the catch basin with the new pipe. Okay, so we found the tile right there. It's white. Now, just got to check grade and dig it all out. So I can set this tape to 0 as my starting point. And then hopefully, if we have a rise to the catch basin, we'll be removing this down the stick the whole way as it's getting higher in elevation, essentially getting closer to the ground. So that's the goal. So we are about halfway through our trench. Things are going pretty decent, following grade, but we know and remember that there's a fiber optic line buried basically from that pole right there. It comes in between those two little trees, comes out along the grass, and goes right in through here somewhere. About right in line with my truck, right there. So we are waiting on a locator. We're gonna borrow a locator from Greg's cousin and see if we can find that, and then we'll be able to dig through here. He's just scratching off some stone. We're making progress, albeit not as fast as some. That fiber optic cable comes in through here somewhere along the building, and we know this is it right here. So it comes up in conduit, and then it goes into this little PVC conduit, and then goes into the office right down there. So Connor's here with Dozer Works.
How you doing?
And he's going to try to see if he can hook onto it with their locator and give us an idea where it is so we can dig it up and find it without hitting it or finding it with the excavator. That's the goal. So you think that this little thing along the edge,
You know what we ought to do?
is metal?
They left this spool sitting down there at Renner's. We should go down there and practice on there.
Just scrape it a little bit.
Do you think scrape this edge?
Mm-hmm.
Or we could go inside and see how they got it branched off. So this is where the fiber optic comes in, and there's nothing really bare to get onto. So those wires are like glass, they're clear fiber optic. So they're not conductive, I don't think. You got to get on the shielding of the
coax of the cable outside of the cable. Hooked onto it.
You got straight up the thing?
There we
Now
go.
you're getting the strums.
How deep?
I don't know. Don't tell me which one it is. Oh, 310.
3 foot 10?
That's what it says.
Shit, 3'9" we might
3 foot 6. 6 inches. That's about right. Right there it is. That is pretty slick. So Connor here, if you can't tell, is a bona fide operator. He works for Dozer Works and he runs an excavator every day. He just happened to stop by on his way home. He had an early day at work, so he knocked out, brought us the locator, and now we've conned him in to run. But he's doing it much faster. We're trying to get up to where that fiber is so we know we're not going to hit it. So here's our current situation. We're hooked onto the field tile with some perforated tile so that we can try to drain the edge of the driveway that always lays wet. Then we've got our SDR35 ran up to about where we think the fiber optic cable is buried. Connor's working to try to find that. My problem is I have to go pick up the girls from school, and then we have a ball game tonight, so I have to coach their ball game. So I gotta leave, run to the game, and then I'll check back in tomorrow to see where they're at on this project. Hopefully we can get it wrapped up tomorrow. There you go. Go. Nice hit, Eva. Okay, Ella. Go, 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 go. Good job, Ella. Well, the ball game was a success. We won our game. Today, we're back to trying to finish up this project over at Greg's. I got to get a load of stone because we're going to backfill that pipe with some stone to try to help drain all that water that you saw pouring out of the driveway that's underneath in the sub base of the stone. We figure if we bed the tile, bed the pipe with stone, it'll help to drain that. So I'm in Louis. That's where I'm headed next. Hi, I'd like to get a load of number 9s and pay with a credit card.
Alright, you're all set. Thank you.
Thanks. No, not me.
Yes, you did. Angie sent it to me.
What'd you think?
That's all right. Yeah, I seen the drone and everything. That's pretty wild.
Oh, thanks. I'm making one right now, too.
Gonna make us famous, Tom. Who did what? driver over here, he's got a drone he pilots and makes the camera videos. Angie sent it to me one day. He needs to let us know when he's filming us so I can wear my best shirt. He's already filming us right now.
So lots of people pointed out to me in the last trip I made to the quarry that I didn't tarp my load, and to be honest with you, I forget that I have that tarp sometimes. This is the first truck I've ever had that had one, so I don't even think about it. But I did this time, thanks to a lot of you reminding me. So we're leaving the quarry. We made it back here to work. Let's go check in on Greg and see what all they got done yesterday. He's got a trench dug. He's digging without a laser. What's shaking, Bacon?
Here's the deal. I got to leave at 10.
Ooh. We're going to put stone in. That's why we got the 9s, because they're clean and they don't have any powder in them. They'll let the water flow through.
You got 9ers?
I got 9ers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, that way it would match everything else. I didn't want you to have a...
I think it's great. I got this roughed in last night. We'll get this lasered out.
I know a guy that can help you fix up your driveway.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I can even, he's got grader boxes and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Ow.
Just skim those ridges out from about right here. It's good. From here on. So the reason we're putting all the dirt in the bucket of the skid loader and hauling it out of here is because experience has shown us that if we put dirt back in the trench, it'll settle and continue to make a divot in the driveway for a long time. So we're going to fill it up with stone to avoid that. Plus it'll help it drain. That's why we're getting rid of the dirt and not putting it on the driveway, because it just makes a huge mess. Well, we drained all the water out of there, so it must be working. We're to the bottom of the pipe. There you go, right there. Now, make sure it goes in there all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Did it go into the line?
Yeah, it went in.
So we have made it with our pipe all the way from the outlet clear up here to where we're going to connect to the catch basin. And now, for those of you who said that you're never going to use geometry outside of high school, this is where you need geometry. We're working with a T here. We got 45s, we got 22s, and we got to get the right angle so that we connect that existing pipe. This is the existing floor drain, and it backflows whenever the drains in the barn get full, it backflows. So we're going to connect it up so it has a way to outlet, but we got to get the right fitting. So I think I'm going to tee into this with this one, and then I'll use rubber couplers to connect up to there. There, we got it. It's going to work just fine. Beveled edge. They'll slip in that gasketed fitting better. Okay, this is a rubber, I call it a Fernco because I believe that's the brand. It's made by Fernco. So we're going to slide this on here and make a special pipe soap. But I don't have a special pipe soap. There we go. Slide the Fernco over the gap. Okay. Okay, I gotta go dump these 9s so that we can use them to backfill that trench. So we hit an old clay tile right about where that fiber optic line was. So we're going to fill that up full of stone to encase that tile basically in stone. Any residual water that runs out of there will just run into the stones and find its way out. Basically listening for the stones to stop hitting the tile, and then that's when I'll quit. I don't want to bury all these 9s. I want to save some for on top. I'm going to use the Mini to get some of this dirt and dirty stone from the other side of the trench because the skid loader won't quite make it. You know, I thought for sure if I wore my Captain Kleeman shirt, it would summon Captain Kleeman to this job and he'd help, but I haven't seen him yet. But my part is done for now. Greg's gonna finish up the final grade. Well, actually, he'll just get it leveled up, and then I think I'm gonna bring the grader box over and finish it up. But he put some 73s in the trench to fill it up and have that top layer be packed in tight. I think it looks good. You know, there was a lot of questions when we started this job. We didn't know what we were getting into, what we were gonna have to fix or install. Turned into way more than what we thought, but that's the way most of these go. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hope that you liked it. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next one. All right, I got to get to the next job.